Welcome to Camp.Grill.Eat. I'm Angie, and today we're going to be making spicy cranberry relish. This relish is a perfect choice if you don't love the super sweet cranberry sauce out of a can. It's a great condiment to put on top of your holiday turkey, but also can be used in a charcuterie platter. You can use it as a spread on your leftover turkey sandwiches, and actually also makes a really nice topping if you do baked brie, if you want to put it on top of that tart cranberry balances really well with creamy brie cheese. It requires only 4 ingredients and is super simple to make. We can put it together in just about 5 minutes. So let's get cooking. Okay, so we'll be making the spicy cranberry relish in our food processor. For this relish, you will need 12 ounces of cranberries. You can use fresh or frozen. I'm using frozen here. So if you use frozen, just let them sit out for 10 or 15 minutes. At room temperature, it just makes it a little easier for your food processor to work. We are also going to be using 1 jalapeno. You just want to chop it into some smaller pieces. Now, depending on how spicy you like your food, depends on how much of the white pith that you leave inside. So I like things pretty spicy, so I'm going to leave some of it in, but I am going to take the seeds out. So I'm just going to remove these seeds. And yeah, just into a few chunks. We'll be processing this fairly finely, so the jalapeno will get chopped up. Now, if you don't like things super spicy, you can take all of the white out of the center and that will help, but it is a fairly spicy relish. So if you don't really love spicy food, this may not be the recipe for you. But it is a beautiful balance against the sweet tart cranberries, and it's just a nice play on cranberry sauce. So we'll also be using 1 lime. You want the zest and the juice of 1 lime. So from your lime, you should get about 2 teaspoons of lime juice, of lime zest, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of lime juice. If your lime is kind of stingy, you can go ahead and squeeze another lime in. And if you're short on it, you could always add a little splash of lime juice too. It's not ideal, but not the end of the world either. So yeah, just go ahead and get as much of the zest as you can in there. And then, so obviously you want to zest it first and then cut your lime in half. If you give your lime a little roll on the cutting board, it will help to squeeze a little more juice out of it. So just go ahead and squeeze it in there. Of course, when we're done, you can taste it and you can adjust the amount of lime juice. You can adjust the sweetness and the salt, which we'll also add. So cranberries are pretty tart on their own, so we do need to add some sweetener to it. So next I'm going to be adding 1/3 of a cup of honey. You could use agave if you want. I wouldn't recommend using maple syrup because of the flavor of the maple is probably going to be too strong. But honey or agave, I would start with 1/3 of a cup. It makes it not super sweet. If you prefer it sweeter, you can always add more, but obviously if you over sweeten it, then it's hard to reduce that sweetness. So we have our honey and our cranberries and our jalapeno and our lime in there, and the last thing we need is just a big pinch of kosher salt, and that's pretty much all there is to it. We are going to give it a few pulses, probably process it actually for, I don't know, maybe about 30 seconds, and we'll check out the consistency. So I ran the processor for about 30 seconds. You may need to scrape down the sides of yours once or twice, and you can see what the consistency of our finished relish looks like, you are welcome to make it more finely chopped depending on what you like, but I like it like this, still a little bit chunky. You could spread it, you can dollop it on like a sauce, and yeah, just to give it a little taste. It's very fresh, crunchy, nice balance of sweet and spicy. It's perfect for your Thanksgiving turkey, especially if traditional cranberry sauce isn't your favorite. As for making ahead, you can absolutely make this in a few days in advance and keep it in the fridge. It will get a little more juicy, so you need to stir it up before serving. And the other option is to freeze it, and you can freeze it in bags and put them in the freezer for a few months, and then just thaw it and use. So as always, the link to the recipe is in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Please click subscribe for more content.